All right, y'all. So I know that some of you guys may have seen the live last night on folding clothes. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then go back and watch the live from last night. So basically, I did not get to see my nephew today. I um, got up this morning, played with the kids. I got them ready. My original plan was to meet Cameron and Chloe's mom halfway so that she could get them, and I wasn't gonna go all the way to Mobile. But when I found out my sister was in Mobile for her graduation and her son, my nephew was there, I decided to reach out to her. I wanted to sit down and talk to her. And then you guys can go back and check out the video where I talk about though I don't have a relationship with my dad and how I wanted to see my nephew and my sister. But I just don't want anything to do with my dad. So I really debated last night. I didn't get much sleep. If I was gonna go to Mobile, I had told her earlier that night that I wanted to see how my nephew. I just did not want to see my dad. She said that she understood. Um, hey, B Red. So I got ready today, and me and my husband decided to go to Mobile. We're gonna go to Mobile, and I let her know that we were a 3 hour drive last night. And when I called her, I sent her a message saying, hey, I'm leaving. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Um, that I'm leaving and I'll be there in like 3 hours. So we got on the road and I was about 2 hours away when I got a message saying they're gone. They just left. Now, I know my dad is a petty bitch, and I'm just gonna say it because my sister lives in California and she works out there, but my stepmom and my dad have my nephew, and that's the problem. It's not my sister who's interfering. It's basically like I can't deal with my dad, and I don't have a problem with my stepmom, but I just don't want to deal with my dad. So it keeps me being unable to see him because they have him. And I don't think it'll be a problem with my stepmom, but I know my dad is gonna act like a bitch. So basically, when I put it all together, I think like when my dad found out that I was coming to Mobile to see them, hey, love me. Basically, when my dad found that I was coming to Mobile, he found out that I didn't want to see him. So he left early intentionally to take my nephew back to North Carolina. So I didn't get a chance to see him. And I was en route. I had already talked to my sister about it. And I was just telling my husband, like, this is the kind of shit my dad does. Like, if he can't have control of the situation, he'll make it uncomfortable. Like there was no reason for him to leave early. My dad, I can never remember him leaving that early in the day to drive back to North Carolina. Um, I know it wasn't a situation with school because my dad don't give a damn about school or kids. Just being honest. So basically, I feel like because I didn't want to see him, I didn't get to see my nephew. So I'm upset, but I'm so upset that I couldn't cry. Um, but this is the stuff I deal with. Like, and I was to the point to where I was even at when I got there, I had told my husband, I said, I'm willing to even just have lunch with everybody, even sit down across the table and just be civil after I talked to some of y'all last night on live. I was totally willing to do that. Um, So no, I didn't get to see my nephew, and I wanted to see my sister, but I was so upset that I dropped the kids off and we got back on the road and came home. Like I feel like my dad did it on purpose. I'm not surprised. Um, My husband was like, "That is crazy. I can't believe you do that, knowing that you're on the way." I definitely don't think it had anything to do with my sister. Like she, if she probably wouldn't have sent him back on my dad, then she probably would have missed her flight getting back home. So I am hurt, but I'm not surprised. Um, like I told y'all, my dad is a narcissist. Um, and I wanted to see my nephew. I love my niece. I love my nephews, and I'm so hurt to I can't even cry. I just wanted to hug him and just spend at least an hour, 30 minutes, or anything with him. And I I feel like I always feel like he's gonna like forget me, or he's gonna forget how much I love him, and that bothers me. Like most people don't care. It's not that big thing. It's not your kid. It's just your niece and nephew. I have a bond with all of my nieces and nephews. I love them all like they're mine. And well, see, the thing is that Kiera is not my dad's child. So my sister Amanda is. I don't know if she's in North Carolina. I haven't talked to her. I'm trying to be an adult, so I'm feeling like he's 12. So I'm feeling like I'm gonna have to sit down and talk to my sister. I don't feel like it's something we need to talk about over the phone or anything. I feel like I'm gonna have to just catch a flight to California and sit down and talk to her and see if I can work something out. I'm at that point to where I just miss my nephew and I want to be a part of his life. I want to be able to sit and talk with my sister. My sisters, I want to be able to sit and talk to my stepmom. I just can't deal with my dad because I feel like he's like a man child. And when you and your parents are not that far apart in age, it can be difficult because my mom was like 18 when she had me, and my dad was like 15 or 16. So my dad is like a terminal kid. Like he's like an eternal kid. And I can't deal with it, y'all. Like I know that I'm angry because I couldn't even cry. I couldn't even cuss. I'm just like, you know, I was gonna be civil, and I was actually willing to sit down and have lunch with everybody. Maybe I should have conveyed that, but then again, you know, my dad is always the victim in this situation. Everybody always does him wrong, and I'm just hurt. All I kept thinking like this morning is like, oh my god, I'm gonna have like my whole heart in one room. I'm gonna have Chloe. I'm gonna have Cameron. I'm gonna have Age. Like, that's all I was thinking about. It's like I get to have all three of them in one room. Like, even if it's just for an hour. Like, I'm so mad. I'm so hurt that I can't even cry. Like, like I got up, I did my hair, I did my makeup. Cause my nephew used to love to play in my hair. He don't know he has autism, and he used to love to like see me dressed up. So I got all dressed up, and I just I couldn't believe it. Like, I don't even drink no more, y'all. But I need a drink because that really hurt me to my core. Like, I can't believe my dad is that petty. Like, he is petty, y'all. Like, when I tell y'all he is a petty, 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 petty bitch, he is. And when I told my husband, I said, anytime you see me acting petty, it's because I got it from the best. My dad is the pettiest bitch of all. He is a bitch, okay? Ain't no other way to describe it, okay? My dad, he should have a vagina, okay? Because I need a drink. Because I'm so angry. Like, I'm so angry. Like, I'm so hurt. Like, I can't even believe he did that. This is what I'm telling y'all. This is why I be so stressed. Like, I be so angry. I be going through it behind the scenes. Like, it's the holiday season. Like, we're a week away from Christmas. Like, a week and a half away from Christmas. And this is what you do? Like, you couldn't let me see my baby? And that's what I'm feeling like. It's crazy. You won't let me see my baby. And the only reason I think I didn't snap too is because uh Chloe and Cameron was in the car. Like, I love my niece. I love my niece. I love my nephews. And I just Can't believe my dad. Like, I'm not surprised. I didn't think he was that petty. But you know what? He a bitch. I'm sorry, y'all. My dad got a whole vagina. Like, I knew my dad was an asshole, but I didn't think he would show his whole rectum. He left early. So my sister lives in California, and my nephew is with my stepmom and my dad, and that's been the issue too. That's why I can't really get to see him because I try not to deal with my dad and whatever. If my dad gets into his mood, then it's an issue and it's a mess. So he knows that it hurts me. Yeah, she told him I was coming, and that's why he left early. I sent her a message as we were leaving the house, and I was like, "We'll be there at 3." No, I know it wasn't my sister because I don't. I know she wouldn't do anything like that. But I feel like my dad. I don't feel like I know my dad, y'all. Like because I didn't want to meet with him, and I just wanted to see him, see her in age. I feel like he put her in a position either she was gonna miss her flight if she would have made age day, she wasn't gonna be able to catch her flight home tomorrow from Mobile back to California. She would have had to try to get age back and then get back to California, which is a hassle in itself. So I don't blame her. She's doing what she has to do to take care of her son. And he does have autism. And I will say this that my sister, um, she works very hard so that she can provide him with all of the services that they don't give in public school system. So that requires her sometimes to have to go out and work, and she's a nurse. She is like I think she's like on her fourth degree. So she works really hard to provide for him. His dad's in the army too, so like she works really hard. Like the services, anything new, anything advanced, anything that she works really hard to get him those services. And she doesn't like to move him from place to place because he does have autism. So he stays with my stepmom and my dad now. My dad has gotten a lot better as far as how he treats children, but my stepmom predominantly takes care of him, and he loves being with his grandmother. He's always loved being with his grandmother, and it would be unfair to constantly move him around and uproot him. And she has to go where the money is, and that's the best way she can provide for him. So I'm not knocking her for that. I know that this didn't have anything to do with her. I feel like my dad manipulates her because she's always tried to make him happy. And she loves her dad, and I think she just wants what's best for her son. So I'm definitely not mad at her. I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to just save, get a flight to California, and spend a week with her, so we can sit down and talk, and maybe we can work out something to where I can see my nephew. Because I can't keep doing this. Like this is something that I just can't. And I don't have rights because he's not my child. I understand that. But I love him and I want to be a part of his life. I just wanted to. Have you ever wanted to hold somebody in your arms and tell them how much you love them and give them hugs and kisses? Like when he was little, that's that was our thing. We would just cuddle, and for a while he was nonverbal. And I can remember picking him up from school, and we would talk, and I would try to get him to talk, and if he could tell me what he wanted to eat, I would take him there. That was an, I mean, we used to laugh and go for walks, and you know, it, um, that really hurt me today. Man, that is so fucked up. Cause my dad is a real bitch, y'all. And this is the kind of shit I've been dealing with all my life with him. Like, I was so happy when I got up this morning and I started getting ready. I was so happy because I had been saying like, but this is what I deal with when it comes to my dad. Like, this ain't nothing new. He can't be a dad if he tried. Like, he is just incapable. Like, I deal with a lot. Like, I already have I already have harsh feelings towards my dad because there's just some things that kids should never know. There are some things that kids should never know. The kids should never know that their mom was a hoe. A kid should never know that they were a mistake. A kid should never know that their dad wanted their mom to abort them. I should know that. And he's never wanted me. He wanted my mom to have an abortion. And the fact that people let me find that out, and the fact that he's always treated me like that, is very painful. And my mom even said that to me before, that, when she had me, she said that I ruined her life. And she didn't want any more kids. And my dad, he wanted her to have an abortion. So, like, I can't expect anything good from a person like that. And I live with that every day. Like, your own parents didn't even want you. And they showed me a lot that they didn't want me. So no, I didn't see my dad. I didn't see my sister. I didn't get to see my nephew after we dropped the kids off. We got on the road and came home. I'm thankful that Reggie drove me down today because that was really hard. trying to drive down because I was really nervous about doing that drive. Like, I'm so hurt. Like, um, I gotta get, I gotta go to sleep and wake up and get out of bed tomorrow. Feeling the way I feel. I will say this. I was never trying to play a game with my dad. I backed off. It's never been a game to me about with my dad. Like, I know who my dad is. I just didn't think that he would do this. And, like, this is so unnecessary. Like, I stopped talking to my dad because I know he's toxic. I know he's manipulative. I know that it's always everybody else's fault. I had to learn it the hard way, but I just never thought that he would do something so, like, you don't you gonna you didn't want a relationship with me, and the fact that I do want a relationship with my nephew, you don't want him to have one with me. So, like I said, I'm just going to save, and hopefully at the end of the summer I can catch a flight and go see my sister for a week and sit down and talk to her, and maybe we can figure something out. Um, no, I'm not gonna play no games with my dad. Like, I've never expected to win a game. I could screw my dad right now. I could have screwed my dad when I found out he was in Mobile. My dad shouldn't even be in the city of Mobile. Okay, he still got child support warrants. Okay, my dad still got child support warrants. My dad still owes back child support from when I was adopted. I could go after his assets now because he does have assets. The only thing is, if I go after what he has now, is in the state of Alabama. When you get married, your spouse is also responsible for child support. So anything that I go after, it would affect my stepmom, and it will also affect my nephew because he's in their household. Um, so I could legally still go after him. I have all his information. My dad owns a cab business. I could I could do him in if I wanted to, y'all. My dad is in the rear, almost 92,000 in child support. And in the state of Alabama, it does not matter how old you get. If they can find a way to collect that money, they would do it. And it's a way to get the money. And a part of me wants to do it to just be a dirty, low down, conniving bitch. I want to do it to him, but it's not gonna help me see my nephew. And I'm not gonna play that game with my dad. If I would have called two people and told them in Mobile County where he at this morning, his ass will be right downtown in the metro until he can pay a portion of the child support. and not bail. I could have done that. I've had a lot of opportunities to mess my dad up, but I don't want to stoop to that level. Like, he's never going to be able to collect his Social Security. He probably won't need it, but I could go after his assets and it would be nothing. They would have to pay me. But like I said, it would affect my stepmom, and she has done a lot to help me, and I would never do that to her. There's a lot of ways I can hurt my dad. I know a lot of things about my dad that could destroy him and get him a lot of jail time. And it's not just child support. So trust me, if I wanted to be a dirty, evil, sneaky, conniving, low down asshole, I can screw my dad. I can screw him. But I'm not trying to do that. All I want to do is be at peace. But my dad, he pushes you to the limit. He pushes you to the limit. He just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing until you want to do something to him. But I'm not going to drop that low. I'm going to figure out how I can sit down and talk to my sister and see if we can work something out so that I can see him or at least talk to him. Because this is crazy. He did that intentionally. And I want to cry. I feel like my nephew is safe because my stepmom is there, and a lot of things that she did when put up with and dealt with, she would never let happen to my nephew. I don't believe that my stepmom would let anything happen to my nephew. Nobody's even allowed to raise their voice in the house around him. She's very protective of him, and I know for a fact that if my sister didn't feel like my stepmom was going to take care of him, my nephew would not be there. So I have every confidence that my nephew is being taken care of. And if I did feel like he wasn't, I would definitely have said something a long time ago. I don't, you know, I don't want to affect his relationship with his granddad because it seems like my dad may be a better grandfather than he is a father. And that's possible for some people. But, I have to go about it the right way. And I know my dad probably sees my YouTube channel because I blocked his ass on Facebook. So I know he watched my videos. I blocked him on Facebook because I found that I could see he kept popping up. He's not controlling the environment because he's not that hands on. He did this because he had the power today. Like I said, if my sister would have had my nephew, I feel like if my stepmom would have been here, she would not have allowed him to leave without me seeing age. I know that in my heart. I don't think my sister had any control. Like I said, it's a difficult situation when you live on the West Coast, your child lives on the East Coast. Um, my stepmom is very protective of my nephew. Everybody is very protective. My dad did this to hurt me. Um, it was not him trying to hurt my nephew. He did it to me. And he's not thinking about by us not having a relationship. It's gonna eventually hurt him. Um, I have to. just go through my sister. Like I said, sit down and really talk to her. I think my sister understands better than anybody. Um, I'm very proud of my sister. You know, she has to make a lot of hard decisions when it comes to the well being for her child. And being a nurse and moving around and going to school is hard on any mom. And the amount of effort she puts into making sure that she can get to see him, she's always flying back and forth and making sure that he's in school, making sure he's into every program that they have for children for autism. Um, you know, I've known my sister when she lived like 3 hours away. She didn't miss a meeting. She didn't miss a program. She was there with him. You know, he would go with her. Like she don't miss nothing. But when you have a child with special needs, you have to do everything you can to make sure your child is okay. And I will say that her and my stepmom, they do a good job of taking care of him. It's a team effort and it's not easy. And I can't say anything bad about them. I just can't. I can't. I can't say anything. I can't sit here and say they don't take care of him or my dad is mistreating him because I know what my dad, he has almost got his head taken off before. Okay, you know, you can't love something you never wanted. My dad never wanted me, and because I don't want to be a part of his life, he's gonna do everything to make my life with my siblings and my stepmom uncomfortable, and he's gonna try to alienate me. Um, like I said, I don't feel like if my stepmom was here, she would have allowed that to happen. And I feel like if my sister would have had a choice, it would have been totally different. My dad is basically just there. He couldn't survive without my stepmom. And she deserves more. And I have actually tried for years to build a decent relationship with my dad. Y'all don't know how hard I've tried, but he doesn't. You know, my dad never. He didn't have best childhood, and he just he just is. I just want to go to sleep. It's raining. It's cool. I missed yoga today. Y'all, I missed restorative yoga. I never miss yoga on Sunday. But I'm just so over it. I'm just so over it. Mark my word, before the end of 2020, I'm gonna see my nephew 3 times. Um, I know that because I'm going to go and talk to my sister. I'm going to set something up, and I'm going to try to make contact with my stepmom, and I'll see my nephew before the end of 2020. Anyway, I'm tired, so I guess I'm gonna go and take my makeup off. I have makeup on all day. Yeah, yeah, but no, my dad, he's probably hardly ever at home. To be honest with y'all, I just think it was the cases that the day he had the most control. You know, because of the situation. If my sister would have been taking age back, or my stepmom would have been here, I know for a fact that I would have saw my nephew. Because they wouldn't do anything to hurt him. My dad wouldn't do anything to hurt him either. He's just being a bitch because it's me. And he was in his feelings because I didn't wanna see him. And um he's like he's gonna make me see him type situation. I'm not gonna see you if I don't wanna see you. I was actually willing to sit down and have lunch today. And you know, but I have chased my dad for years trying to build a solid relationship with him, y'all. Y'all don't know how many times I ran behind my dad to have a relationship with him. No child should ever have to chase their dad. It's not my job to form a relationship with him. That's his job. I came from his nuts. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm about to go, y'all. Have a good night.